Hi, I'm Jason Santos, and I am the designer of a game called Santa's Favorite that is a holiday themed Santa Claus based game with a jolly old Saint Nick flying his reindeer through the sky. I'll show you the game a little bit more in detail in a second, but here's the sort of gimmick or catch to the game is that around Christmas time, we're always saying there's not enough Santa Claus or holiday themed games. And so we're always thinking about that. And one year I thought, by looking at the tree, wouldn't it be great if a game actually fit into an ornament? So I sat down and decided to design an ornament-filled Santa game. And what I came up with was Santa's Favorite. Santa's Favorite is a small game in a small package, but it actually packs a bit of strategy, and it's basically in the ordering theme genre where you're trying to order the reindeer to sort of get certain placements. And it plays 2 to 5 players. It could be expanded to 6, but you'd have to add some pieces to just fill it out a little bit. It's really designed for families, just friends. It's not a real thick game. It's designed to put on your tree, and then at the end of the season, you store it with your ornaments. And then next year, when Christmas comes around, you bring it out and you say, "Hey, here's the game we packed away, and we can play it." So it becomes sort of a holiday tradition to play every year. And I think that would build. I think people would think what a exciting idea to put on your tree and to take it out. It's a game that it has a range probably of 5. My son started playing it at around 4 or 5. He's 6 now, and as long as they can understand the movement placement, you can read it to them and they can play. I've played this game play tested hundreds of times with people all over this country and in Europe, and every single time it gets a great reception. And people ask, when is it coming out? So without any further ado, let me present the actual game and how it plays, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more at the end. Santa's Favorite. It all fits into this little sack, which again hangs on a tree. And what happens is you set it up by putting Santa down here, and it says onward and upward on the card, and this is small too. And it also gives you a little bit of instruction. There's the first and second round. It tells you which order you're trying to put the reindeer, so you're going forward. This is always forward, this is always back, regardless of which way you're going. And then down here, there's a little scoring hint for the points. It's 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we skip 5 to give first place that a little bit extra. So 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first round, you're going to be trying to get Santa. You're trying to get your reindeer up front so that Santa rewards you with points, basically. And in order to do that, you'll move any reindeer you want on the line. And then after you'll do that once with your reindeer identity. So at the beginning of the game, you'll be given a hidden bulb, and this could be anything, stockings or a treat or a collar or whatever. But you chose bulbs, but you choose a bulb. And so let's say this person over here is Cupid, but this is hidden. This person over here is Prancer, and let's say that I'm Dasher. So we're here, spread throughout. We put the rest of the cards away for later if we need to access them. So what we do is on your turn is after you set it up and everyone has their secret color and the cards are all lined up in the order of the song from Rudolph, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Santa is onward and upward. You play the first round with these colors hidden, and in order to play a round, you draw one card from the gift bag, and you play either side. So those are your choices of movement. So out of this gift bag, you draw one, and for example, this one says rearrange last 3, rearrange first 3, 4 forward, 2 forward or back, 3 forward, place 3 used gifts back in the sack, move to any position. So there's some numerical movements back and forth, and there's also some special actions. Draw 1 forward and draw again. Move first to last, move. So there's all sorts of things. And the way the round ends is basically there's 15 cards in the bag. So at a 5-player game, each person would get at least 3 times to be able to, theoretically, 3 times to be able to move. Unless the round ends early, because whenever this little coal is drawn, which it looks similar in design, but when the coal is drawn, that means the round ends with that person, and that person will begin the next round by drawing extra cleanup. But that means you score. So when the first round, you're drawing these cards, you're moving your reindeer, and when the coal's drawn, all of a sudden that's the end of the round. So then you have to reveal your card. So I'm Dasher. This person says, "Oh, I'm Cupid." Over here, I'm Prancer, and let's just say they were rearranged and they were up here and Prancer. So in this regard, Prancer over here would get 6 points. Rudolph, who no one is no one, would get 4. I would be Dasher. I would get 3. 2 and 1, Cupid would get 1. So the 3 players would have their scores distributed. But the other thing is that their identities are now revealed. So that's the end of the first round. You remember your points, you collect your points, you leave the reindeer in the same order they're in, you collect all of the gifts, and you put them back in the bag. And then you shuffle them around. And then the round starts again. But this time, you know who people are and you know who got points. So when I draw a card that says, and let's say I'm Cupid, and it says, "Oh, move any reindeer 4 back, or move a reindeer 4 back." Well, I don't want to move mine 4 back. I can choose that, but I can choose to move Prancer 4 back. So in the second round, the game takes a little bit of a twist because it allows you to think, hey, who has points and who do I need to move back, because we're still trying to vie for these top 5 positions. Well, this goes on once again until the coal is drawn, and then in the same fashion, it allows actually. So that's the end of the second round. You rescore in the same point structure: 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the third round begins. But in order the third round to begin, you take Santa and you flip Santa over, and you can see it says feeding time, and Santa's throwing out some candy cane, and it also shows in the third round that that's the direction you're heading back now. And then it gives the point scoring. So in the same way the front to the forward position went, it goes 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now all of a sudden, after you for 2 rounds try to get up here once with hidden identity, the second time being open and people trying to thwart you openly, now all of a sudden everyone needs to shift back, and in one last round they try to make it back to these last 5 positions so that they can get fed. And then when in the third round, when the coal is finally drawn, the game is over, and you total of 3 points from 3 rounds. Yeah, I wanted to just show you real quickly some of the cards so that you get a little fuller explanation of how they work. Some of the cards have both red ribboned ornaments, and those are the ones you have to play immediately. You have to choose one of them. You don't have any option. You can move any reindeer, so you're never you never run into a situation where you can't move. But some of them have a white ribbon on one side and a red ribbon on the other, and in that case, again, what happens is that this allows you to save the card. So typically when you play a card, you put it in front of you, you play it, and then you turn it around for your neighbors to see, because there are cards that interact with your used cards, so they can see which you played. And then if you have a card that you're saving with a white ribbon, everyone knows you're going to save it because you're putting that in front of you, facing you, so you haven't used it. And then when you use that, you would also turn that over and put that in line with them. Beyond that, there is the coal card, which obviously is the same on both sides and just triggers the end of the round. There is a white card that allows you to stop the coal from ending the game, and it's a white card that says, or a white ribbon card that says, put the coal back into the sack. And that extends the game a little longer, and it's actually, I've seen it used a lot. There's also a card that actually has a symbol of a coal. I can't seem to find it here, obviously. That has the symbol of the sack in it, and you can actually end the game with that, or has a symbol of the coal in it. You can actually end the game with it. I don't know where it's at. Here it is. And you can actually end the game, and again, likewise, someone could also say, "Well, no, I'm actually gonna stop that and put that back in the sack." So there are 15 cards that can be moved in total. So plus the coal, so it allows you actually to everyone to have. Theoretically, if the coal was the last card drawn, everyone would get at least 5 turns. Typically, it ends somewhere around that third cycle. And that's basically it. You gather all your pieces back up, which again would be a cardboard cutout, punch out type chips, and they would all fit in this little bag. And you would pull the little drawstring here and wrap it up tight. And then at the end of the season, or after the end of your play, you'd hang it up. And at the end of the season, you'd pack it back up, and it would be something you can get out every year, and people look forward to it. It's a great stocking stuffer. It's a great little ornament. It's a lot of game for a little package, and I would love to talk about Santa's Favorite with you more if you were interested. Thanks for watching.